is happening? And welcome. Get this going. Hello all, welcome to the third Fortnite competitive camp brought to you by me, Coach Doty, and esportscamps.com. Really excited for this session. I am very excited about it. We have this amazing theme of communication. And in preparation for this, I've been working on a casual player's guide for Fortnite. I'm working on making a YouTube video for it. For those who don't know, I've been coaching Fortnite for about 2 years right now. There are so many things to coach in Fortnite. And so I've been working on this call out sheet. I've been breaking it down, and I'm really excited about talking about it in the level of detail which you can communicate in this game. So, quick story to start you out. I played college lacrosse, and as a freshman, an important part of lacrosse, especially playing defense, is communication. So, mid-practice, my coach called me out during a drill and said I wasn't communicating well enough. I wasn't being loud enough. I wasn't saying the right things. So for the whole entire rest of one drill, he had me be the only one talking, and I had to yell. So I was this little freshman, not so confident, stepping into a field with a bunch of larger men, many of which weighed 30 plus pounds in me, and I'm forced to be the only person to talk. And although it was tough in the moment, although I was a little embarrassed, that changed my life forever, and I've been a good communicator ever since on the lacrosse field. Now, Fortnite, it's a little bit different. Usually people don't have an issue with loudness. It's actually usually the opposite. They're yelling, they're screaming over their teammate. So I really like to stress calm callouts, calm and quiet callouts, especially if you go down. If you go down in a Fortnite game, if you go down in a game, you don't want to be yelling, you don't want to be complaining. Welcome, Varsity Sports Foundation. If you go down in a game, you either want to be quiet so your teammates can hear footsteps and pick up critical information, or you want to provide useful callouts, not obvious things that they can see. So here we're going to go through a bunch of different ones. If you guys have any ones to add to this list, anything that you think should be in this callout sheet, I have a couple that aren't mentioned, and I'd love for you to put them in chat. So we're going to be breaking it down step at a time. So one, chop or fake chop. This is where you take someone's build down. Anytime in Fortnite, someone's on high ground, this is an option. Now, is it always the best option? Probably not. There's a bunch of other things you can do, but this is an important call out. So you and your teammates say chop or fake chop. So a lot of the times you're going to start to try and take down their build, whether with your axe or your weapon, and they're going to realize quickly and attack you. So that is a really important thing to note. Anytime you're going to chop or make this call out, be ready for after your first axe swing, after your second axe swing, that someone's going to drop down and try and get a shot. Back in the day, a couple seasons back, you could get chops and shoot downs pretty effectively. Now it is much tougher. The people on high ground are a lot more skilled at dropping down quickly, hearing that chop, and then taking advantage of it. Next up, this one's a hot topic, or sometimes debated, of what these terms mean. This is what I believe they mean, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. So this is the degrees at which you damage a person. So one shot, that's a big debate. I personally would consider that 50 or less health, but as you guys know, someone can get slurp fish off, somebody can get floppers off and quickly be up. But I would say one shot. Another one is cracked. That means their shield is gone. They're 100 or less health. Obviously, once again, you always have to consider that they can get those shields quickly. Dinked would be 30 plus on a shield. Double dinked would be like 60, 70. And then 30 white, or however the amount you hit, plus white, meaning that it's white health. 20 or less for one shot. Yeah, I know, it's up for debate. So making these callouts is really important, preferably not screaming them and being specific. So you could say one shot to the left of the house, one shot at the big tree northwest. You want to be extremely specific, and we'll keep going with that. Another common one, pressure. So that means you want to keep spraying your AR, your SMG, keep spraying your minigun, or you're trying to get inside their one-by-one structure. You're trying to pressure as much as possible, usually because someone got a damage, or you have a third party coming in, so you don't want to get hit. So that'd be pressure. Today we will be doing customs at the end. We're going to be doing squad customs and trying to integrate, trying to use a lot of these callouts as much as we can and work on our communication skills in game while playing with a squad. And you'll have a chance to play with me and be on my team maybe. We'll see how that works out. All right, so for the first part, just so I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat, we're going to go through this callout sheet. We are going to do a quick play around in creative. So I'll be building, you'll be building, I'll be taking specific questions, and I have a couple specific builds that I want to show you, and then we're going to end on squad customs. Another really common call out that I'm seeing a lot more now is axe or break. So end game, usually you're in a bunch of different layers of builds, and you're going to be low on materials. You're going to have to move through builds that are not your own, and you're not even going to know if they're yours 100%. So axe or break. So being able to do that quickly with your teammate. And then of course directions. Anytime you can give a direction on the shot you're taking, on the people you see, or the shots coming in, that is huge. So combo is obviously better, and being more specific, we'll get that down here. This one, oh my, if you have a duos partner that you play with regularly and you do not have this, this is the first thing you should do next time you meet with your duo. Establish a 3-2-1 shoot procedure. So for example, you shoot when you say 1, 3, 2, 1. Or some people might shoot right as you're saying 1. Whatever it's going to be, you need to establish that procedure, establish that rule that you guys are going to follow. If you're shooting without your teammate knowing, a lot of the times that's going to be a mistake. Obviously, end of game, sometimes you're just trying to get beams on people. But mid game, early game, you have to establish this 3-2-1 shoot procedure, and you have to work with your teammate on this. This one is specific examples of damage by direction. So rather than, oh, that guy's cracked, that's okay, but that's not as helpful as crack the guy low ground right, double dink high ground, 25 blue southwest behind the house, trying to say it in a low, calm voice and being extremely specific. 25 blue is not as good as 25 blue southwest behind the house, especially if you know that your teammate's not aware of that person. As we talked about incoming shots by direction. If anyone can think of any more, we only got a couple more for this, and then we got some strategies to work on this. In my box, that's obviously when someone is inside of your box, you need support from your teammate, or just let them know that you're in that tight box fight. Box up, that's when you want to make a couple structures, or you're telling your teammate to make a couple structures. You could say I'm boxing up or box up, which would suggest that they should. Hold, now this one I think is a little bit more complex than people suggest it be. Yeah, I'm dead. So that's actually one I struggle with. I go down and I don't want to yell out things. I don't want to be that guy. So I will kind of just go silent sometimes unless I have those useful call outs. But I think more often I need to say I'm down. I need to just say calmly and quickly after, because not everyone realizes that. But this hold one, so you're in a box or you're in a 2x2 structure with your teammate, and one of you is holding, so that's holding the wall, or if they were trying to shoot the wall to steal the wall, you would be holding the wall to take it. So hold, and typically it's not just going to be one structure. It's either going to be like a wall and the stairs behind it so that you can ensure your teammate is going to get that heal off. It might be you're holding from above, so you're getting hit on from above and you're holding that flat and roof, but just making that hold call. You might say hold above or hold behind. But like I said, it's not just hold. There's details to that there. And you'll see it when you watch some of the best players in the world. A lot of them have the levels of details that you see here. Next up, watch back. So this one's pretty common in duos right now. One person is leading, tunneling for the team is the IGL, the in-game leader. They're tunneling, and the other person is watching the back. In trios, that's going to be really huge too. Squads, not as much, but it's still a thing. Now, it might not just be watching the back. It might be resetting walls or stairs or rotating stuff behind you. It might be building structures behind you. It might be getting beams behind you and to your side. Just watching back, it's a good call, especially endgame with your teammates if you have an IGL and you have a person in the back. And of course, knocked one, down one. I hear a lot of people just saying dead when they get someone down now. Those are important. So if you have anything to add to this list, that would be great. Right now I'm going to talk about how do we improve these. So this first one I think is absolutely hysterical, but I love it. So I heard this on Twitter from another Fortnite coach, and he said, make calm callouts in solo. So a way to practice your callouts would be to make these callouts in solo. So it might sound a little weird, it might sound a little goofy, especially when you're doing it, especially if you're streaming, but it's a good way to practice on your own. So even if you don't have a duo partner right now, you can work on your skills. So you could be playing, you're going to play anyway, you're going to do your thing. Why not also work on your communication skills? Next up, this one I think is also so huge. So accountability with a teammate. Calling them out when they don't do or note what should have been said or done. So This is a very important thing. So if you're going to be accountable with your teammate, if you're going to help hold them to the standard of communication, if hold them to the standard of play that you want to have as a duo, it can be tough. So I'm sure you've seen it. Even the best players in the world, they argue, they get mad at each other. There's been many notable teams that break up because of a lack of chemistry, because they don't work well together as a team. Accountability with your team is a skill, and dealing with it, that conflict resolution, working with your different. Everyone starts off in a different place, and you guys got to work together to make the best team. So, my recommendation is that try your best to not make these call outs, to try and not tell your teammate what should have been said or done until after the game when they're in a calm state. So anytime someone is very emotional, they're all riled up, they're excited, they're mad, that is not the best time to try and reason with them or try and debate with them, try and argue with them. You want to wait. Maybe sometimes you have to wait till the next day. Maybe you got to wait till the morning to discuss it. But this is a great way to improve your team. Like, if you're going to get better as a team, you have to have these hard discussions. You have to establish procedures, rules. You want to have these communication skills and phrases worked out. So accountability with your teammate, calling them out. And I highly recommend, like I said, when you guys are calm, when you're not arguing. Next up, so this one is marking danger in fights using the pinging system. So if you don't have a good keybind for pinging, that is huge. On mouse and keyboard, I like N, and I like to do it with my thumb. A common one is using the mouse wheel, clicking the mouse wheel. Yes. So instead of saying over here, perfect football, instead of saying over here, use this mark danger when you can. People will do this all the time for heavy sniper plays. I'm going to heavy snipe this, they'll mark it. Or let's double heavy snipe this. But they won't use that while they're mid-box fight. They won't use it while they're pushing a team saying, one guy's here. So I think I see some high-level players doing it. I highly recommend trying to do that more when you can. It's not going to be easy. You're not going to do it all the time. But trying to mark danger in fights when you think it'll be useful for your teammate to know exactly where they're at. Class 2, and then we're going to get to our play along. So today we're going to do customs to end. I'm really excited for some squad customs. You might have a chance to play with me and my friend Luke. So don't tilt, don't get mad, don't get frustrated. Obviously it's going to happen. Just stay focused on the path and do what is necessary to get better. So one of my favorite quotes ever is do what you can. It might sound basic. When it comes down to it, you got to do what you can. And sometimes you might not be able to do your best, but from there, it happened. Whatever happened, happened. Do what you can. Do what is necessary to get better from that spot. And that goes back to trying to find work on it when you're in a calm state, not when you're emotional. And last of all, you can refer back to the sheet. I'll be posting this sheet in the Discord, and you can refer back to it. I also do VOD reviews. That's where I review high-level gameplay. I do that on Sunday on my own Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Coach Doty. But you could VOD review for with your partners. So you can pull up your own videos. You can pull up your own replays. You can find other high-level replays and talk about what you see. And yeah, so that's our strategies to practice and improve communication skills. Like I said, I'll post this in the Discord somewhere for you guys to check out. If you have any recommendations, you can keep typing them in chat, or you can post them in Discord. All right, here is our plan for the play along. I'm going to get it started, and then I'm going to tell us about an exciting opportunity for next week. But as always, I'll be taking questions. So if you have specific builds that you want to work on, that's great. And then I'm going to go into a few specific moves that I'm working on right now, some higher level moves. All right, without further ado, let's hop on some Fortnite and let's play along in creative. Hope you guys checked out the new update, some crazy changes. Heavy sniper nerf is a great thing that they have done. Everyone's really excited about that change. We also have an aim assist nerf for those controller players on PC, which is very controversial. I'm sure you guys have heard about it at this point. And then there's 2 new game modes as well. Yep, Risky Reels, I believe, was added back. I actually have not hopped in a game yet, so this will be my first experience with it. All right, still loading in. All right, while I'm loading up, I'm actually going to play this for you real quick. So next week we're hosting a competitive boot camp featuring Fortnite, 10 hours of training. One day we'll probably be focused on communication as well. We have a couple tournaments. We're going to do a creative tournament. We're going to do a box fight free-for-all type tournament, and we will be having some prizes. Logitech provided a couple prizes, and I'll also be offering some live coaching as prizes as well. So I'm just going to play this while my Fortnite is loading up here. I will explain how to join me later for customs. We'll be doing squad customs today. So here is the side jump that my friend Zach showed me. What it is, it's a side jump. There's any type of side jump like this. And then from here, I'm going to stairs and roof. Obviously not a clean first one. Any move, you could get the fanciest move in the world if you work on it. This is what it looks like. This one is here. And then I'm going current face cam is covering the video face cam. I just started working on this one. Good piece control here. Let's go right. Yep, we're gonna have some box fight and zone wars, working on our team communication. I really like this dual box fights right now. Oh! Logitech, shout out to them for doing this. I'm really excited about this. I've been planning on doing this camp for months, and I'm really excited to be running it. The first 30 people that use the code Fortnite20 will get $20 off, and that link is in the chat, and it will be posted at the end as well. All right, and let's hop on to Fortnite. All right, so let's hop in creative. Yes, link is in the chat right now. Tic-tac-toe, I like your question. Is low ground a good strategy? So low ground, of course, sometimes you're going to have to play low ground. Personally, I love playing low ground. High ground's fun. It's a whole different game. But low ground has always kind of been my thing. You're satisfied with the last game? Sure, very satisfied. But so low ground, there's just so many different skills. So low ground peaks, low ground builds, how you take down high ground, how you react to high ground as a low ground player. So is low ground the best move, especially end game? Probably not. Low ground end game, it can be really tough to secure that win. They've done there's some statistics, some numbers on competitive play, and a large percentage of the time, the high ground player wins. Whoever's high ground those last couple of circles. You can win, and it requires certain skills and techniques and strategies, but your chances decrease, especially end game. Now, mid game and early game, I'm fine with playing low ground. I am totally fine with it because, in part, third parties are able to hit the high ground you've got usually more effective. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. Somebody has high ground on someone, and they're trying to get their shots off, whatever they're doing, but they get third party. It's so easy to third party that high ground guy mid game, especially mid and early game. All right, so we're probably going to begin customs around in about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less, and I'm just going to cover a couple strategies. I'm just going to pull up the list for you. All right, so the ones we're working on today. The corner edit into a side jump, the corner reset as a go pass, and messy tunnel. Because the people in shambles drop down. That's a really good point, E-Dizzy. All right, so here's one I'm working on. I have not warmed up yet with this new patch, so please bear with me. But this is a really popular one right now. So making a wall and immediately going through it. So you're here. You're just going through it. A lot of different things you could do with this. Sometimes you might be getting pressured. You're here. Someone's pressuring you over here. You're a little scared. You're trying to make a thing, whatever. And then you pop out here, and maybe you'll hit a side jump. But that corner edit right after you make the wall can be so great. So working on that. That's one thing I'm trying to work on. A lot of different applications, like the one I just mentioned. But it's not an easy edit to do on the fly, especially once I practice it. Now another part of this is also the, just make sure my party is private. Another part of this edit, one is just being able to do it on the fly, quickly. There's so many different little edits you can do, is this reset though. So a lot of people struggle, let me pull it up for you here. I'm here, and this. How do I reset this wall? A lot of people struggle with this. On mouse and keyboard, you press your wall button. You have to be aiming at that wall. And I can show you this is a perfect example of how tough it can be sometimes. Now, if I have it edited here, it's easy to reset. But if it's, I guess this would be the one. Very tough to do. You see how I pulled it? I have to pull my wall out there. So that's one I've been really trying to practice on. With the way the box fight meta has been going, it is such a common reset, and some people don't even know how to do it, especially lower level players. But yeah, so on controller, you'd pull out your build menu, you'd switch to your wall, you'd have to aim here, edit, reset. Questions on like when we play with? Yes, so if you have any specific questions about builds you want to see, strategies you want to see. So real quick, I'm going to cover, I mentioned this last camp, I believe, but this is still a tunnel I'm working on. It's this messy tunnel. Trying to work on getting this one 2 in a row every time. In case you don't know what it looks like this, alternating, switching each time. So this one is really good for solos. For duos, it's not as good because it's tough for your teammate to follow this. But I love this one. Key details for this one is getting at about half for this one. Because if I do the wall, or if I do the stairs right here, that's going to happen. So getting past here, getting past this half and aiming down. And then for the second one, you're not aiming down, you're aiming to the far or the corner you came from. So one more time. I'm really trying to get this one full speed. If you watch any high level solo play right now, this is an absolute staple. And usually you're not going to do it more than twice. You might do this one where you just repeat more than twice. Where you do this one. You might do that a couple times in a row. Show retakes, please. Editing stairs, the most I struggle. Okay, we'll go over a couple retakes. Editing stairs. Ooh, okay. Stairs are my favorite edits by far. The biggest thing that I'd recommend for stair edits is finding the couple you like. Now the classic one, this one. The other classic one right now is doing this reset and shooting through. My favorite one right now is this one, where I go here, I make this stand right about here, reset. So many different stair edits. You got to find the ones that are big for you. Improving shots. One, I'd make sure you are messing with your sensitivity. Real quick, I'll show you what I got. This is what I am at, X and Y right now on 800 DPI. So if you're a PC player, you have to know what your DPI is. That's your sensitivity for your mouse. So you might have to download some software for that or just look up your mouse. So this is what I'm working with. Controller. I've been doing a lot of research as I'm working on my casual player's guide and controller settings. Now for me, I kind of have high build mode and edit mode, but console players like 35 to 45 is kind of the sweet spot here. Almost everybody has the boost off. 9 to 15%. It depends on these numbers though, because these numbers, your X and Y, affect these two. And then these, your ADS, your aiming insights, is going to be affected by these two. Shoot through your stairs. That's actually tricky for me. Sure. So this is a great one at a high level. This one is really tough to pull off because all the competitive players know this one. But you're sitting here on the stairs, you rotate it, and if you're sitting at the back of the wall, you can shoot through. It's better to jump shoot though, so you decrease your chances to get hit. Yeah, for PC, there's actually some pro players who play at like 60, but yeah, 40 to 55 is kind of the sweet spot. Other stair edits. Oh yeah, another one I thought was cool about this one. If you time this up well, or depending on how you stand back here, like right now I can shoot through it without the rotate. So I can just be in my box. I don't even have to rotate to do this one. I can just be in my box, and I make the stair standing at the back. I can make these edits. Boom. Just want to double check to see what I covered. Corner edit into a side jump. Just a rebox, the corner reset. We talked about that tough reset. Reset as I go past. Oh yeah, so this goes back to that following with your teammate. So say I was tunneling here and doing this type of tunnel. Now my teammate, if he's following behind me, he's got to be resetting these at least, or resetting it partially, maybe making a different window edit so he can peek, but he's got to be resetting this as we go and watching our back, and also maybe watching above, so he might be doing an edit, just checking out above, resetting, reinforcing with roofs as needed. All right, we'll take questions for about another 5 minutes, and then we'll get into customs, and we're really going to try and focus on our communication. So I'll pull out that call-out sheet, and I'll note a couple specific ones I'd love to see when you're playing with a teammate. And we're going to alternate west and east for custom, so everyone will get a chance to play on their go-to servers. So real quick, I'll cover some high ground retakes. Classic is 90s. If you're not comfortable with some sort of 90, you got to work on it. It's not absolutely essential to have 90s and be the best at them, but it helps in certain times, especially in solos and duos. I imagine it's actually all the time. It's going to help you in certain situations. Whistle 90s are bad for me. So if you're not comfortable with your 90s, you got to work on. Number one that I recommend for newer players is instead of doing these big sweeping 90s, especially if you're on console or Switch or mobile, I like these half 90 or one less wall 90s where you do 2 walls here and then you just go up. You don't do this classic sweeping motion here. You just run up, go to your side, jump, and fast it'll look like this. My other big one, sorry, we are not 1v1ing right now. We are running a camp. We'll be doing customs later, so you might have a chance to find me in there. Who knows? My favorite set of high ground retakes is the scissor stairs. I talk about this one all the time. Just stairs above, stairs below. You could do double stairs with brick or metal. It's tough for them to see you. And then from here, so many different options. You can do edit throughs. You could do like reset peak shots. So many different options. So high ground retakes, you got to find the ones that work for you. Definitely got to include some 90s in there. Definitely got to... Oh my... Any other strategies anyone would like to see? Oh, good dead zone for controller. So my recommendation for that, I will show you that. So I no longer play controller. If you're on console, I'd recommend around 15%. If you are on PC, some of the best PC players are using like 5 or 6%. It really depends on you. A lot of the best PC players have this number at 0. Look dampening time, and it depends on what kind of controller you're using. Yes, Esports Camp is a real person. 14 and 16 is what I'm using. If you are on console, I'd probably recommend trying this. But going back to that talk about sensitivity, you got to find out what works for you and test it. You have to test. You can't just get settings from a YouTube video or get settings from me and just go with it. If you love it, if it feels amazing, yes, but you still want to tweak it. Every 2, 3, 4, 5 days, I might move one of these numbers up 0.1. I'll do it right now. I'll move both of these up 0.1 just to see what it's like and see how I'm feeling, how I'm progressing. You can mess with these as well. Highly recommend have your HUD down. All right, without further ado, we're going to go right into customs. We're going to do East. I'm going to hop in with my friend, and we'll see who hops in our squad. So we will, depending on the numbers, we'll pick certain drop spots. And I hope everyone will go to these drop spots. If the game is going really slow, if I get knocked and I see a lot of camping, I'm probably just going to let people play that out, and I will start a new lobby so we can keep it going and make sure everyone gets a chance to play on their preferred server. So let me invite my friend Luke here. The best communicator. I only exist in chat. Luke, if you could accept my invite, please. Alright, so we're going to start out on East. Let me just change that. So everyone make sure if you want to hop in for this one, we're going to do East first, and then we'll switch to West. Let's make sure you change your server to East. And then you're going to go to Squads. You'll click Accept. Then you go back. You click Custom Options. Now here you're going to type in... Esports. All one word, lowercase. Let's make sure we have the lobby. Oscar, ready up, please. Nice, okay. Code is esports. All lowercase. Make sure you have it on fill so you have a chance to get in with the squad, maybe with me. All good if your mic is messing up. All right, we're going to wait about 3 or 4 minutes right now. If you're already in the lobby, you can take this opportunity to get us a good stretch break. Our focus for stretching most of the time as a gamer is going to be hands, fingers, wrist, shoulders, back. That's your go-to. The code is esports. If it's not working, let's make sure you can reset it. Make sure it says NA East up here. Make sure it says squads fill right here. And then make sure you go to custom options. You type in esports. Favorite weapon combo? That's a good question. I'm still a heavy snipe guy. I've always liked the sniper throughout the game, and it is so fun to play with. I would give people a couple minutes. We got 17 in. Very exciting. I'm hoping to do 3 or 4 total, depending on how quick they go, depending if I leave for a couple of them to try and get the other server going. So we'll go right at 4 minutes. So we'll take about a 2.5 minute break here. PC on console. Do you mean mouse and keyboard on console, Johns? Silence sniper, yeah, it's fine. You can't make those heavy snipe plays, but it's still a sniper. It'll still one-shot people. It's still great in long range. Hey, nothing wrong if we're bad at the game. Everyone is bad at every game at one point. Can we stream snipe? I would prefer you didn't. Who knows? Maybe you'll be on my team. Okay. PC on console, or mouse and keyboard on console. My epic is just Coach Doty. All right, we're going to go in about 2 minutes here, up to 22. Remember our in-game communication points. Oh yeah, I'm going to bring that back up before we play. Chop or fake chop. Let me get my webcam off for a second so you can see this. Chop or fake chop. Being very specific in how much we're calling out our damage. When we're going to pressure, we're going to try and do it saying pressure and also marking areas. Axing and breaking as a team when needed. Being very specific with our directions. Not, he's over here, he's over there. Northwest behind the house. He's low ground right behind the tree. Stuff like that. You could work on this with your partner. Luke, we're going to do 3, 2, 1. And when we're right as I'm saying 1, we're going to shoot. Damage by direction, we talked about that. In my box, box up. Holding for your teammates as needed. If they're taking damage, if your teammate just got cracked to 30 health, unless it's a 1v1, your whole goal should be to save your teammate, whether that means boxing up for them, holding for them, or if that means getting a peek shot. Often what I'll do is I'll build a ton on top. I'll build 1 level above them. I'll hold or make a structure in front of them and then go up 1 to kind of distract. Every time you get knock someone or down someone, every time you're knocked or downed, let them know. And let's make calm call-outs. Let's be accountable with our teammate, but try not to say it while they're fighting. If you go down, let's not yell in the mic. If someone is not being nice to you during this, I forgot to mention that, please mute them. If someone is going to be disrespectful, if they're going to be toxic, they're not going to be a nice person, we're not going to deal with that today. I'm not able to be in all your squad lobbies and help out with that. So please, if someone's being disrespectful, bullying, let's mute them and let me know, okay? And let's try and stay focused on the path. All right, I think we're ready to go. We'll give 15 more seconds, and I'll talk about it's esports. Esports. We're going to go esports. All right. Our drop spots are going to be... we're going to go the northwest side of the map. So you can go any portion of the northwest side of the map. If it's going too slow, like I said, I'm going to hop out and switch us to west. So northwest. So we're going Shark, Pleasant, Sweaty, Salty, or a new spot. Any of this part of the map. Let's please not drop anywhere else. Northwest side of the map. Shark, Sweaty, Pleasant, Risky, Salty. Here, up to you. Test, test. Let's hop in game chat, Oscar. Alright, it appears we don't have anybody in game chat, Oscar. You're muted.
Hey.
Let's hop in game chat just in case they hop in.
Hello.
Test, test.
Test, test. Our Smith clan.
Oh, that's so funny. Our Smith clan, welcome. Drafty Bat. These are actually two people who have been sending me invites to games, and look like that. Look at that. First game they get placed in mine. That's hysterical.
Hey.
All right, so location is all northwest side of the map. Anywhere northwest. I'm gonna call our spot out late so people can't stream snipe us.
Nice. I was nervous about that.
All right, insta drop, insta drop.
Oh god.
Odds that chicken appears. I don't know. We never know what chicken may be.
Always appears when you least expect.
Watch out for his snaps. Oh no, I just got bugged. No way. That's crazy.
We got people with us?
Really?
No, I'm asking.
I don't think so. That is a great communication right there by Luke Skywalker. Do we have
Hey,
people? He's first one.